an appearance tonight, but I'm here. Thank you guys so much for supporting the channel. Thank you guys so much for helping the channel grow, for the channel to prosper and to become what it has. Okay, I thank you guys so much, and I hope you guys have been taking care of yourselves, enjoying the month of July 2025. As you already know how these months go, right? Time flies very quickly, and so you have to enjoy each moment, right? And you have to live your best life no matter what the season is, right? So, yep, everybody, I'm here. I'm a little bit tardy here. And I didn't get to post a community post today, but I'm here though, right? So I'm ready to get into it. Definitely when it comes to one's presence, there could be a lot of things to say, right? It's a lot of things. I mean, if you have the ability to wake a room up, right? If you have the ability to jolt people awake, right? In whichever way that you do, if you have that ability, then it says something about you, right? And but it can make people very jealous, or it can make people very like suspicious of you, or wanting to fight with you. It can make people feel combative, right? And wanting to compete, perhaps, because you wake people up, right? Or people could be noticing you, right? People could be really paying attention to you and the things that you do, or the ways that you move, the things that you say, right? It's like people could be on high alert when you come into the room. And it's because of the energy that you have, or the aura that you have. It's like a whiff, right? It's like in the air. It's like something that lingers, right? Your personality, or your style, the way that you do things can linger in the minds of people who meet you, or who see you, or who encounter you, right? And so you have a long lasting effect on people in society, right? It could be people in your family. It could be people who you just live in close proximity to. It could be anybody who, once they meet you, right, they will feel that you are someone different, right? That there's something about you that is not regular, right? You could be multi-layered. People might be suspecting that, right? That there's a lot more to you than what meets the eyes, right? Yep. Spiritually enlightened, nice to see you. Hey, everybody. Hey, Lou, Pam. Hope you guys are feeling great. Thank you guys so much for joining me tonight, because your presence is very real, very potent, and people are becoming more privy to it. People are becoming more aware that everything shifts, things shift, right? When you come around, or when you come into the picture. So it's a whole different vibe, right? It's, you could really be, you could have a flair to you that people don't come across, or perhaps, once again, it could be the things that you do, or perhaps you put your own little spin on things, right? So there could be multiple elements about your character that entice people, and they feel that. It's like a wavelength, right, coming off of you. People could feel that you're onto something. You know what I mean? There's something about you. It's something about what you produce, or how you are, or just the energy you carry, maybe the way that you hold your head high, right? People could be very they could see that, right? It's glaringly obvious, that there are special qualities to you, and you could have been through a lot of things. It's like people could probably see that on you. They could probably see your strength, or sense that you are strong, right? And so certainly they're going to pay attention to you, right? And they may want to dive deep into your story and want to figure out how you got to the position that you're in. Like, how did you do that, right? So a lot of people are going to be enticed. It could be to where people are feeling that there are multiple layers to you. Once again, I think I mentioned that briefly. Like, you could walk into a room and people are feeling that what they are seeing in front of them isn't all that there is to it, right? So you could give off that type of vibe where people just want to know more. They want to find out more. They're interested. They want to take you on. They want to see and try to figure out where your mind's at, or how you do what you do, why you do what you do, right? Your presence can make people jealous, right? Your presence can make people feel on edge too, right? Like when you come around, people could start acting funny. They could look at you up and down and whisper and, give you the cut eye, give you the evil eye, right? All of these negative vibes just because you walked into the room, right? It seemed like from a distance, there was nothing wrong, right? It's not like there was something pre-existing in that environment that, that would be the cause of the distaste, that they're displaying. Like, what is it, right? It's only when you walked in the room, that's when the vibe switched, or that's when everybody started acting strange, right? People could be really jealous of you when you enter a room, when you enter the workplace, when you pull back up to your home in your neighborhood. It's like people just, they could be really feeling, even though you could be a very vibrant, positive person, they're looking at it as an irritant. They're not seeing it as something that is noble or attractive. The jealous people, they don't see it like that. They see it as something to attack and to mock and to mull over, right? And to try to find ways to compete and to cause problems and to be warish. They do other things. They could do diabolical things to show you that when you come around, they don't like it or they don't want you around. So you're going to see in multiple environments that you step into, people are going to be actively trying to get you out of the environment or try to make you feel like you don't belong in this environment and that you're not able to say your two piece and be a part of the team, or, people are going to try to overshadow you or overlook you because of the presence that you carry, right? It's kind of like you shine so bright, or you could be very vibrant in some capacity, and they have to dim that. They feel like they must quiet that so that you don't shine that way. And so you don't, you're not seen in that way. Right. But what starts happening here is that people are going to start realizing that they cannot do that. They don't govern your life. They're not able to dim your light. You're going to shine if you want to shine, right? That's something that's just what it is, right? And so they're forced to accept that if you walk in the room and you're vibrant, you're vibrant. I mean, what are they really going to do about it? If it really bugs them, what are they really going to do? Right? I mean, they could look away, they could put shades on their face, they could run, they could hide, right? It's nothing that you can really do to take away the glow that you have within you, right? Like if you're a top boss and you're walking in the room, you're going to act like the boss. You're going to act like you know who you are, right? You're not going to go in there with your head down and looking meek and looking frail, right? Like you built something, you are somebody. So you're going to act like that. So when people want to have a problem with your presentation or with your how you are, your aura, that's a them issue. What are you supposed to do? Like you can't dumb yourself down to the glow that you've amassed, right? Like you've grown, you've done a lot of things to get to the position that you're at right now. And unfortunately, you're not going to get recognized in a positive light sometimes, even if you're in that position. It's going to be people doing the opposite. It's going to be people trying to destroy that or destroy your image, or kind of like gloss over what it really is, who you really are, because of your presence, right? And they're going to make a whole big thing out of it. You're like this, you're like that. And it's like, what am I like? And what's with the watchful eyes? Why are they so particular? It's an endless cycle. You'll see any place you go, any place in society, you're not aggravating anybody. You're not bothering anybody. You're literally moving in an unbothered fashion, right? Like you're going about your business. You could be going to the bank, the bakery, the butcher. All right. And you're going to be getting dirty looks. People are going to be looking at you up and down. It's like, what changed here? right? Because I just walked in, it's a problem, like what's going on? And you're going to be treated that way too. It's bad enough, right? That they're clearly exhibiting these behaviors and then they start treating you that way too. Like, for example, if you go to the bank and people are already looking at you funny, they're going to try very hard to like avoid servicing you. They're going to like, make it seem like they're not available to service you, but they're accommodating everybody else in the environment. But you're up next, right? So clearly there's something off there with that. Clearly, and I've dealt with these situations. It's really strange, but this is how it is sometimes. Like, you don't know these people, right? You don't know them, but they feel like they know you. Like, they feel like they know who you are. They feel like they could see your spirit, right? They could sense that you're a bright minded person or you have a bright light. So it could be an irritant to these people who are not accustomed to seeing people like you. They don't like people like you. They don't like people who are vibrant, happy, giddy, jovial, positive, optimistic. It's like if you have these qualities, best believe there are going to be people around you who don't like that about you. They don't like that you see the beauty in every day and that you make every day count and you're trying your best. It's like, it's like it's like an irritant when you're doing you and when you're doing your best and when you're really happy and you're shining and you're getting more and your accolades are getting more profound and getting more plentiful. You would think it would be the opposite reaction, right? But not these jealous folks. They will look down on you. You'll see people turn away. Like when you walk in, they turn away from you or they turn away from your position. It's like, wow, you know? Well, it's like, wow. It's like, you did nothing to hide that, right? And so sometimes it could be glaringly obvious that people feel some type of way when you come into any room. You'll start actually seeing people actively avoid you if they know you're going to walk in a room or if they know that you're coming soon or you're pulling up soon. It's like people are going to anticipate and they're going to plan around that and they're going to make sure that they don't bump into you, right? Or they don't see you, they're mitigating. That's how they see it. They're mitigating, having to cross paths with you. Because once again, if you have all of these amazing qualities, to these people, they're just a bunch of irritants. And so if they come into contact with you, it's like, it's like getting pine sol on yourself or something. It's like it burns them to see you, or they feel like it's corrosive, right? But it's because you have a flame in you. It's because you have a fire in you. It's because you have a lot of things to look forward to, right? And they could feel that energy coming off of you. It's like they know that your future, how you're stepping, how you're presenting yourself, it's all there. There's no like denying it, or there's no arguing over it. It's like you probably just walk into the room knowing what it is and acting like and they know that and you know that they know, right? But sometimes when they know, they act up, right? Vibration says, we want nothing to do with demons. Trust me. I hear you. Nancy says, good evening from lovely Dallas, Texas, USA. Nice to see you, Nancy, from Texas. I'd love to go to Texas one day. I would love to. Is Texas nice? Right? Because I'm a Canadian, guys. I'm from Toronto, right? Born and raised in Toronto. So, that's the bulk of what I know, right? But I also know that a lot of you guys here are from the United States. Let me know what you guys love about your state and what you think could improve about your state. Let it be known in the comments. I'm very interested. I don't like to get into politics and things like that because, it can become very problematic very quickly. Everybody has a position, everybody has a stance, right? So, but I'm aware of what's going on there. But let it be known, guys, everybody, where you guys are from. How do you guys feel about the state, the place, the city, the town, the country that you live in? For me, I love Canada, right? It's the only place that I know. It's the only country that I know. I was born here, raised here. It's all I know. And then living in a city like Toronto, once again, it's all I know. So, so it's all about diversity and multiculturalism. That stuff is ingrained. And I really enjoyed. I do love the city that I live in, but you know, like every other city, they have their qualms as well, right? There are multiple facets that could be improved, and you know, that goes for every jurisdiction. It's not restricted. You know, you're gonna hear people say, "Oh, don't go visit there. It's real bad. You don't want to be caught there. You don't want to be visiting there." There could be a lot of elements a part of that town or city or state, though, you know, there are some infrastructure problems, or there could be some crime, there could be some issues, perhaps some level of poverty. There are positive fixtures to that place as well, right? So when it comes to just the world, you know, it really pays to be open minded. Even when it comes down to meeting new people from different cultures and stuff, it's always better to have that open mind, because you never know. You never know how, you know, what you could learn about different people. Some people I grew up, you know, they're closed off. Even in growing up in a city like this, they're closed off. They don't want to know, they don't want to mesh, they don't want to see how other people live and how other people are, right? So they grow up kind of ignorant and closed off, right? So everybody will do what they want to do, but for me, my approach more so is being alchemated amongst different people, diversity. That's what I prefer, right? I don't like the feeling of just everything is the same, right? I like that variety. Always have, always will. So everybody, let's see what you guys are saying. Yeah, Martine says Coney Island, New York, and Brooklyn. Wow. You know, it's quite shameful to me that I haven't been to New York yet. I think that's a really big problem for me. It's starting to become more of a problem, right? I'm hoping to visit New York and all these places, right? And maybe see you guys too in some capacity. You know, logistically that would need to be sorted out, but that would be really nice to do. You know, you guys have helped to build the community up. You guys come out here, you guys watch the content, and we get to talk and we get to vibe. That's priceless, right? So I would love to do that on a bigger scale, or perhaps a more intimate scale, if you know what I mean, right? So I'm hoping that could be a possibility in the near future. Jonathan says Spanish Harlem, New York. Nice. Living Life says, I'm in love with Chicago's creativity. Strengthen our origin of lingo, our influence on the world from dance, music, style, the good, the bad, the ugly side. Chicago, huh? Chi-town. That's what they call it. Do they call it the Windy City? Is that the Windy City? How windy is it in Chicago? I'd like to know. But I thank you guys so much for sharing your thoughts and your insight tonight. It's really wholesome. Love it. Love, love, love to hear where you guys are coming from and to see how you guys are feeling. And you know, just talk. But you know, your presence though, your presence could really be aggravating people lately. If you've made a lot of leaps and bounds, if you've met a lot of milestones lately, perhaps the rooms that you're walking into lately are becoming too hot, right? It's kind of like every single time you get a little leg up in life, or you get a little jolt in life, you're moving up, you're moving forward. Now, when you're walking into rooms with that on you, with that being a part of your life now, people are going to react negatively to that. You know, people could be wanting to close you off. They don't want to hear about, people will literally avoid asking you about your job, asking you about your, you know, upcoming wedding, or, you know, things like that, where it's like they're not trying to get into that because they know that it makes you happy, right? You're confident, like you're glowing, right? You could be walking into rooms and people know your plans, right? You could be walking into rooms and people already know what you're doing. They already know how you're stepping, what you've built so far, how you're, you know, what you're producing. They know you just got married, you're going on vacation, just came back. It's like you look it and you are it, and they see that and they react negatively to that, right? It's become a part of your makeup, like your DNA, the way you are, everything that you do, what you produce, the way you hold your head high, the way that you never give up, the way that you keep standing 10 toes down. It's like, that's not going over these folks' heads, right? This is something that they're very locked into. That's why it's like a it's like a revolving door situation. This is something that is continuous. It will continue to happen. Even when you get away, when you move locations, when you switch jobs, you're not going to be able to evade that type of situation. It's going to be a continue. You're going to keep seeing this theme pop up, right? Where people don't know how to act when you come around, or they act funny, they act strange, and they'll treat you this way. It's not just a feeling, right? Like you could probably see somebody giving you a stank face. Okay, you probably can deduce to what that is, right? But then they'll actively start treating you the way that they look at you, right? And so that's where it becomes a problem, because now your presence is irritating them to the point where they will aggravate you. They could physically aggravate you. They'll try to get in your way. They'll make things up. They'll lie on you. They will smear you, doing all these types of things because they want to diminish the character that you have. Or perhaps they want to make you look bad or get you fired or make people be suspicious of you. They'll do certain things because your presence holds weight and your name holds weight. And what you do is speaking volumes, right? So it could be like that. The things that you're on to something, right? So when you walk into the room, it's like people could feel that on you. They could feel that you're on the brink of something great or that you've changed. It could be people that you've been knowing and they see that you are different. You're behaving differently. You have different, like you could still be you. You could still be the same old you, but just an enhanced, healed, rejuvenated version, right? So you're walking with a different air, like a flair, like a vibe. It could have been a lot of things you had to go through to get in this position that you're currently in. So people could sense that on you. They could feel that radiating off of you, that you've elevated in some way, right? And because you've elevated, it's like, once again, the proof is in the pudding, like they can't deny it. So they have to kind of accept it, but they don't want to accept it. But when you walk into the room, it has to be acceptance, right? Like, I'm not going to disappear. This is not Chris Angel, right? This is not Houdini. If you walk into a room and you shine bright and you did a lot of work and you did a lot of healing, it's going to show on you. And there's no way to quiet that. There's no way to hide that. You could be acting as humble and as gracious as you've probably always been. And that's not going to erase the aura that you carry, right? In fact, I believe that the most humble people glow the strongest, right? And they have the largest impact and they have the biggest hearts. Like, it's when you do things for the right reasons or when you do things for the love. Perhaps people know when you are love. You're like walking love, your joy, your optimism. You have your presence speaks volumes. Like you could be standing for a lot of things. So when you walk into the room, you exude that. You naturally are going to display how you feel inside as a human being and how you feel about your life and your journey. And if everything's going well, that's going to show, right? If you're doing well, if you've elevated, if you've healed, transformed, that's going to be there. There are going to be telltale signs of this, right? And so it's like people don't want to get accustomed to the signs. They don't want to become very, they don't want to be a witness to who you've become. Learn Yourself says, I hate what I go through because of my aura. It just seems so juvenile, right? Like you're just doing you. You're just doing what you want to do, being real, doing your thing. And that alone can cause people to, switch up or target you or, talk you out of your name and talk down to you or try to sabotage you. You could be doing all the right things and this will still be a fixture. It's a part of the journey. Unfortunately, it's like this unspoken thing that takes place when you start changing and transforming into a better version of yourself. There are caveats that have not been mentioned, right? It's just something that you have to see for yourself. It's something that you got to go through to feel it, to know that it's real and it's not a coincidence that these situations are occurring. It could be like that. This thing, I swear, I don't understand why my chat filter is doing this. I don't quite understand that. So it's like limiting the comments that I see. And it's not like showing, yeah. Nadia says, nice to see you, Nadia. You said, we got great energy, but don't share it with the wrong people 100%. Because people will drain you. They will feel your energy. They will drain you. They will deplete you. They will siphon you because they don't want you to have that glow, right? Like, they want you to not, your glow makes you look good and the glow makes you feel good. It's kind of like people don't want you to be walking in that big boss energy, or they don't want you to feel like you're who you are, and you have changed and you have progressed. It's like, that's who I am, but they don't want you to feel like that. They don't want you to feel, or maybe they don't want you to enjoy it, right? It could be people just jealous that you get to enjoy what you've created, or you get to enjoy the fruits of your labor after everything. You know what I mean? It could have been a lot of things, and you're able to sit back and enjoy and just live life, live it up, in whichever capacity, you feel fit. So it could be where when you walk into a room, people could be jealous that you are blessed, right? That you have a lot to your name now, or that you've grown up, or you just have more. And they feel like it's not fair and that you shouldn't be able to enjoy and revel, right, and the fruits of your labor. They feel like that's just something that shouldn't be taking place, because it's like, why you? Who do you think you are? It's going to be a lot of people who just do not feel that you deserve to be great, right? That you don't deserve to get more, or you don't deserve to go up, or there should be a limit or a cap to your progression. And it's like, no, I'm just going to keep going up, right? So it could be to where people are forced to witness you walk into this room, and they know you have a lot, and they know you work hard, and they know that you're doing well, and they're a witness to this. You don't even have to say a word. A lot of the times, all you have to do is just walk in, right? And the energy is going to shift. And it's not like they haven't been watching. It's not like they haven't been paying attention to the progression. These people could be stalking your social media, asking people about you. They could be, pretending to be your friend so they could gauge your situation. When you walk into the room, it's like there's no denying that you have went up, you've gone up, you've gotten more, right? And there's no slowing that down. There's no end in sight. So that's how it is sometimes, right? Where you're doing all the right things and you could literally be staying out the way, and you're still going to be pursued by haters that are jealous that you have what you have, right? Any person logically would be gauging the situation and thinking to themselves, if you feel that type of way, then why do you come around? Or why do you know what I mean? Like, why do you make it into a thing, right? Or why do you start treating me funny because I'm moving in my way? You start treating me in a different way because you don't like me or when I come in or come around. I'm telling you, it could be people who stopped asking you to come around, right? It could be people who used to invite you out, people who used to come around or be in your energy, and they would talk and vibe, or at least that's what it seemed like. And so maybe lately they've been leaving you out. They could be excluding you, not wanting you to be a part of the event or the situation. And it's because they feel like you hog the spotlight, or there's something about you that overshadows them or takes center stage. It could be like that, right? Or sometimes you are invited around, but you're still ignored, or you're suppressed. It's like anything that you have to say, any gesture that you make, people are not paying attention, or people are not trying to hear where you're coming from, right? This is not a coincidence. Some people act like this because they don't want to recognize that you are in the room or that you have something to say. It's all interconnected, really. If you're walking into a room, you have a lot of bright ideas, you have some plans and things you want to enact, you're trying to speak on them. People know you walked into the room, they already know that you got something to say, most likely, right? So they're already like gearing up to shut you down, right? So if it's a team building thing or an employment thing, you could be at the table. It's supposed to be an inclusive thing, but you could be the one left out, shut down, ignored, right? Made to feel like you don't exist, made to feel like what you have to say isn't significant or holds no water to the conversation, even though it could, right? So it's like people don't want to recognize that the person who walks into the room has a lot of things: intelligence, wit, a bright mind, different ways, different avenues, different, ways of looking at things. And so to highlight you in this way pains them. This is something that they would rather not have to do, right? And it could be like that. And you may not have spoken yet. It could be you're going to a party, right? You're walking into the party and you're doing your thing, and you may not have sat down yet. You may not have put your purse down yet, but you're already getting those dirty looks. You're already having people looking at you up and down. It's like people, you know, it's like you're walking in potentially, and people are looking at you like, why are you here? Right? I've been invited to events, and I'll get into it. It's odd. Um, I've been invited to events where they knew I was coming, right? They were completely aware that I was going to be in attendance. And then when I go, they're all acting like they don't know me. They didn't ask for me to come. They don't know what I'm doing there. They don't understand my presence there. But they all know that I was coming, right? It's a very strange situation to find yourself in. They will treat you like some type of invalid, right? Somebody that shouldn't be there, somebody that, it's kind of like, did I walk into the wrong place? It could be like that, where people are treating you like that, like you're just somebody who shouldn't be there. But these could be folks that you know. These could be folks that were anticipating your arrival. They treat you in a certain way. It's like, it's odd, right? And but it comes with the territory. If you move different than all those folks, you best believe they're gonna look at you funny, right? If 99 of them agree with point A and you say, nah, I'm gonna go point B, they're gonna look at you funny. It's of course, right? Because you're not going with the status quo, or you're not going with whatever everybody says. Like, you're strong, you have your own mind, you're self-regulated. It's like you're not going to just you're not going to just jump because they say so, right? You're going to do what feels good to you. And it could be like that, where people are just kind of unnerved that you're in your own lane, you're doing your own thing, you call the shots in your life, right? And so people could just be jealous of that. They could be jealous that they have, that you command respect without really commanding it, without actively doing that. And jealousy is a disease, right? Jealousy is something that corrodes any foundation across multiple dynamics, right? I'm talking about romantic relationships, workplace relationships, family, community-based relationships. Jealousy corrodes all of it. When you cannot be you because people feel some type of way and you're doing all the right things, how will that work? how will that ever progress? How will that ever be something positive? Like there's an obstacle here, right? And it's emotional based. It's an obstacle that people can't shake off, right? Or they can't pass it. They can't overcome it a lot of the times, right? So they succumb to it and they start acting out and they start becoming weaker and more hell bent on distributing negativity and doing things that are corrupt, right? Or, once again, like somebody trying to get you fired, for example, that's pretty corrupt to go out of your way to try to get somebody to lose their spot at their place of employment. But this stuff happens all the time, right? Where people are having to fight for their position because of a hater or two, making things up or micromanaging. It's like, let's get to the meat of the matter. Let me do my job, right? How about you back off and let me do my job? It's like, it's a lot of childish games, right? A part of multiple sectors. You can't really escape it, right? It is what it is. It's cemented in this life, where if you're shining as bright as you can and doing the best that you can, you're going to have people who love you. You're going to have people who loathe you. And it's going to be to where you got to know how to move either way, right? You got to understand that this is something that is real. That's how stuff really is, right? We're not living in la la land or a fairy tale where things go, always the pleasant way. There's always a buildup or a climax or multiple negative situations that we are faced with that we got to overcome to get to the glory. It's all connected. When that's a part of you and you walk into a room, it's going to be glaringly obvious. Like you're strong, right? Like you've been through a lot of things, still solid, still doing your best, still going up no matter the adversity that you faced. And that's why your presence becomes very potent, right? Especially when a lot more is being added to your roster. You're just getting better with each passing year, with each passing month and week. You're becoming a lot more poised in whatever it is that you're doing. So the more poised and the more academically inclined or skill inclined, whatever it is that you're doing, getting fit, doing whatever it is that you're trying to do, when you walk into that room, it's going to show that you have progressed. You are glowing. You are happy. There's nothing to hide that. There's nothing reasonable to shield that, right? It's just a part of the essence that you carry. And it's something that is non-tangible. So people know they can't mess with you as well. They can't try to snatch it from you. It's something that's within you, right? So that annoys them as well. That they can't stop you from walking into the room and commanding respect because that's just what it is. That's what comes with you. That's what comes with being recognized for what you do and how far you've come. Yeah, you're going to be looked at. It's going to be people looking at you, hating on you. You didn't do nothing except for just going up. That's a caveat, right? So it could be like that. I'm telling you. Indigo says they hate on my shine. I bet they do, right? I bet that you could just be glowing now across multiple facets. It doesn't have to be physical only. It could also be academically, work-wise, business-wise. I mean, you're moving away, you know what I mean? Everything's shifting in your favor, right? This is an irritant for people who have to keep seeing you. Every time they see you, it's like, oh, they got to be reminded that you're up now or that you're in a better position now. They can't say nothing. You understand? They can't say nothing against it. They'll try, but really the presence, the aura, the work, the diligence that you have speaks for itself. It overrides any negative slur, any back talk, any smear, anything. It's like when you walk into the room, people see the discrepancies. If there could have been people lying on your name and doing all this type of stuff in the background and trying to make you look bad, lying on you, all these things, when you walk into the room, people know it's not true. They know it's not true. They know that you're not that way. The moment that you walk into the room, all of the illusions dissipate because it's going to be a lot of rumors and it's going to be a lot of lies and a lot of smear. These only come from people who are toxic hearted, people who don't have their own little thing going on. They have too much jealousy, too much anger, and too much envy built up. And they have to disperse it and they'll attack you if they feel like you are the opposite, right? They could be jealous that you work your problems out. You deal with the issue. You don't let things get worse. You don't let things sit. You don't let somebody, a miracle to come. You get stuff done. And it could be people watching that. They know that when you walk into the room, you're a boss. They can't like take that from you. This is something that you built up. This is something that is ingrained in you, you know? Anybody can walk into a room with a Birkin bag and nothing up here. Nothing up here. So it's like when you walk into a room and you have a lot more to you that goes beyond what they see, then you are definitely going to be a target for people who are jealous of the presence, because the presence is what you have within you, which glows outward, right? And it glows outward, but they can't touch it and they can't take it and they can't compromise it in any way. It could be people lying on you, doing a lot of messed up things. And if you walk into the room and they're in it, they can't lie on you, right? It's like they can't twist it. They can't change what it is. There's no faking what you do. When you walk in, it's like, once again, the illusions dissipate, the truth comes out. You could be a walking, talking mirror for people who, have done you dirty or who are problematic, right? You could be that mirror. You could be the truth. You could be walking into these rooms and people don't like that you do, because it's like you could see through them. You could see who they are. You know who they are and what they do and what they stand for, but you still hold your head high. It's not like it's like you don't have to switch. You don't have to change. You could just keep doing you while knowing what it really is, right? That's the thing. Once you know, nobody can mess with you in this world. Once you have that knowledge, once you get a clue and you start moving in that direction, you start, you take a stand, not to be bullied. Nothing's going to knock you down. Nothing's going to take you off course. You're ready to come back stronger, bigger, badder in the best way. People could see that on you, right? They could see that whatever you've been through or whatever you're going through or whatever it is happening in your life, it did not destroy you. It ignited you to be better, 100%. India says they are jealous of our peace and happiness. Oh yeah. Peaceful life, happy home, good job. Everything's working out good for you. Everything's lining up. You know what I mean? And, they're not going to want to bear witness to this, right? They're not going to want to be a spectator to you enjoying life. It's always the simple things. That's what I really love to say, right? That it's never the material. It's never about money, really. It's never about the possessions. It's about the vibe. It's about how you really feel beneath all of that, right? Who are you beneath all of that? What do you have to share? What is your story to tell beyond, the physical sense? When you walk into the room, perhaps people know that, once again, there are deeper things about you and it is not tangible. You know what I mean? They can't take it from you. They can't, I'm telling you. People could be jealous of your energy, of your aura, of your vibe, of the feeling, of the prestige, perhaps, and I'm speaking way beyond the material sense. I'm talking about there could be something about you that is scholarly, like psychologically scholarly, if that makes any sense, if you know what I'm trying to say, right? Like there could be something about you that's deeply knowing, like you know a lot of things on a deep level as though you are a scholar in it, right? So when you walk into the room, people know that you're really smart and they cannot come for your head, and they're not going to screw around with you, and they know that you know your stuff. It's always the things that are not tangible that people really get bent out of shape about. They get really upset because they know that what they feel and what they see, everybody else is seeing that too. And there could equally be admirers in these same rooms. And these admirers could see you and feel you, and they know who you are, right? So it's kind of like the haters or the jealous people don't want you to be seen by other people from what they know you are seen as, from what they know who you actually are, right? Like if they know that you're smart, they're not going to want other people in the room to know that you're smart as well, right? So they're going to try to dumb down your appearance, or when I say appearance, like it's you being there, right? Like you being there, they're going to act like you're not there. They don't see you. They're not going to answer when you talk. They're not going to want to hear about your endeavors. It's going to be all glossed over and kind of archived, right? They don't want to hear from you or hear about you because it reminds them that you're on your way. You're doing big things. It could be like that. You're doing a lot of things for yourself. You're getting a lot more to your name, and you're humble with it. You're not trying to floss. You're not trying to be the one that shows off and has to do all that clout chasing stuff that doesn't go anywhere. You're just you. And that's all it takes. When you're being you, that is the irritant, that is the aggravating factor about you being around, right? They can't shake you. People could be knowing and seeing a growing, maybe you were never really confident, right? Perhaps you had to build that up. You're walking in the room now looking fresh faced, looking like you know who you are now. You're moving like that now. People feel the difference. They see that you're confident now. You're smiling now. You're not putting your head down. You're not meek. You're not fragile. You're looking up. You're looking around. You're shaking people's hands. You're giving people hugs. You're talking about your endeavors. You've come out of your shell, right? Complete change. It could be like that. They're gonna feel that. They're gonna sense that, right? And they're gonna treat you in some type of way because they see that you're exuding a lot more peace, a lot of happiness now, a lot more sure about yourself. It's something that they can't take. You've learned it and you have it and you've adopted it and it's in you and it's ingrained in you, and there's nothing they could do. Nothing. Nothing. Yep. Indigo says they hate on my shine. Is YouTube doing this thing again? Okay, yeah, that's good. Thank you, everybody. I hope you guys are enjoying the stream so far. It's definitely going to be coming to an end very soon, but I'm really enjoying the vibes. Love being on here. The likes and the watches and all the insight is always, very enriching. Richie says, not my fault. Right. Marcelli says, that's right. They don't want us to enjoy it. Exactly. Exactly. Ava, nice to see you. Everybody, shine. If you want to shine, shine. If you want to glow, glow. If people are uncomfortable by your presence because you're good at what you do or you like who you are, and too bad. Too bad. They have ample opportunities to better themselves as well. There's enough space on this planet for everybody to go up. If somebody, your neighbor, your hating ass family member, sorry, but you know what I mean? Like anybody, whoever it is, and however they're stepping now, however they're trying to show their contempt for you or their disdain for you, if it's too much and if they can't take it, there's nothing that you could reasonably do here. You got to keep doing what you want to do, even if you get flack for it, even if people look down on you, even if people, they feel like you're causing a disturbance when you show up, or they feel like you're acting different or strange or odd. You've expanded, right? You've grown, and that's going to show. That cannot be hidden. You've grown. You have a brighter mind. Your future's looking fantastic, right? So how else are you supposed to step? It's going to show, right? So if you want to glow, you got to glow, right? And if you want to, you know, be the best that you can be, then you got to do that. Whatever it takes for you to be in that vibe, you got to stick to it. And of course, when it's time to step out or step into a room or wherever it is, it could be your own folks, it could be strangers out there in society, you're going to be looked at. People are going to be feeling some type of way because of your presence in that space. And you may not have uttered a word yet, and you don't need to, because your presence is speaking for you, right? The vibe that you have, it's a wavelength. It's coming off of you, or perhaps you exude it, right? So it's something that you almost cannot really contain effectively. It's something that it just comes off of you. And it is what it is, and people are going to hate on you. They're going to talk smack about you, try to destroy you, try to sabotage, compete, ostracize you, all of this, and you just got to keep moving up. You got to keep going up regardless of what people do, whatever tactics, whatever nonsense that threatens to impede you, right? You definitely know how to move. You got to traverse these waters diligently and vigilantly, right? Vigilantly, is that a word? I think so. But with caution, of course, right? Because these people are always lurking. They're always around, quiet haters, solemn, melancholy, watching and loathing and plotting and hating, simply because the aura, the vibe that you have, the aura, the attention you command without really commanding it, without really actually having to say these words, it's all there. So you got to keep doing you, shine the way you want to shine, do you all the time, right? Don't let anybody tell you that you can't be who you want to be, because a lot of the times they're standing on the sidelines not making any types of viable moves, but they're looking at you up and down because they know you've been, and they know you've been taking care of your business, right? So I mean, they're letting their own time slip by as well, right? And steady watching you when they could be reinventing themselves. Everybody has that opportunity, and not everybody's using their free will wisely, right? But we will, and we will continue to go up and thrive and prosper and continue to reinvent ourselves, and to keep that open mind that I was talking about earlier, just having that broad mind to be open to different possibilities, different horizons, different people, different places, right? This adds to the roster. This adds to your life. This adds to the enrichment of your life, the betterment of your life, right? And when you're doing the best that you can, it's going to be like that. People are going to just hate on you, and they're not going to like when you come around, right? Because when you come around, it's like everything they're not. You're everything they're not. You have everything they don't. That's how they're seeing it. That's how they're receiving you, right? And so regardless of who feels bent out of shape about it, you're up, right? And you got to continue that way and just love life. And the haters that you could have in your life are low-key fans as well, because they watch you the heaviest, and they and they do these things, right? So just remember that, like, for sure, always remember that it doesn't matter what you do. It's like, if you don't do it, it's a problem. If you do it, it's a problem too. It's very hard to satisfy people around you. That's why you got to do what you want to do, and do what's best for you, regardless of who feels any type of way, because it's always something, right? And you're not going to be everybody's cup of tea, but luckily you're not here to be everybody's cup of tea. You're here to do you, right? And and you're here to shine. If you feel like you're here to shine, then you got to do just that. right? And you got to do it in whatever proportions you feel is right for you. And once again, when you walk into that room and you feel that energy shift, it is not a coincidence, right? It's people who feel like they're just witnessing the star. They're witnessing somebody who's going places or who has a good head on their shoulders. They know that much, right? And so don't let it get to you. When you feel that energy shift, when you feel that cold shoulder, don't let it get to you. Just know that there is a reason behind it, and the reason is multi-layered, right? Just like you, right? And so it's gonna make sense from there. Everybody, I hope you guys enjoyed the stream. I enjoyed talking to all of you. For some reason tonight, my comments were quite. Uh, it's not like showing me everything. I have no idea why that's the case. But I thank you guys so much for joining me tonight. Hope you guys enjoyed the stream. Hope you guys enjoy the vibes. I do have an announcement that is pertaining to coaching that I'm going to be launching very, very soon. Quite a number of you have requested this initiative, but I've been working on it. You know, it's something that I just really didn't feel good to rush. Really wanted to make sure that the format and the cadence of it was correct before being able to offer this, right? So it took some cultivating, but I'm going to be releasing an announcement very soon pertaining to that, so that if any of you want to have a deeper conversation about things going on in your life at this time, I'm going to be open to have these kinds of conversations. And I want you guys to know as well, this is not something that you're obligated to sign up for or be a part of in any way, shape, or form. This is simply something that has to do with what I've been wanting to do, which is to talk to a lot of you about everything that's going on in your life, any stressors, you know, whatever it is that you may want to talk about on a one-on-one type of basis, right? So I'm going to be launching that extremely soon, and I will surely be releasing some details for those who might be interested. But once again, this is not something that you must do. This is something that is just generally a part of my love for humans, a part of my wanting to help people elevate, to hear where people are coming from. Like, you know, this is just something that is an initiative that I'm going to be offering for anybody who is looking to do that. But I'm still here, right? And I love to talk to you, all of you guys here collectively, and to be amongst all of you is very humbling. And then, like I say all the time, I mean, you guys have really helped the channel grow, right? So it's like, you know, it's very enriching, very enriching. And I thank you guys so much. Thank you guys so very much for that. And of course, a lot of content, a lot more live streams content is on the way. I've made a few updates to the channel if you guys have seen them. They're not massive, you know. I do have a link tree now and changed the banner a little bit, switched this around, switched that around, updated a few things there to, you know, to always stay current and to keep my mission very clear, you know, for why I'm on here, why I do this in the first place, you know, what I'm really about, right? And, you know, I just, you know, it's all about being real and just going up and exposure, right? And so, and I have a memoir as well that I'm going to be releasing in some time, but that's going to take a bit of time as well. And so that's going to be released when that's ready. But I thank you guys, though. I thank you guys. I love talking to you guys. I say this all the time. I could sit here for hours, you know. I could sit here for hours and just keep it going, right? But I value your time and I appreciate you guys, you know. So I thank you guys. Thank you guys for all of the support, all of the love, and just the good energy, good vibes all the time. It's very wholesome and very therapeutic, right? So I thank you guys for that. And I hope all is well. Hope you guys continue to enjoy your summers, right? And, you know, just live life to the fullest, no matter what, you know, no matter what's going on. You've got to live life to the fullest and be that bright light. Be that bright light. Be that person. No matter who feels any type of way, too bad, oh well, right? But you deserve to shine because you did that work. So I thank you guys so much. Let's talk soon, everybody. And I love you guys so much. So much. I thank you guys. All right. So take care. Keep going up. All right. And I'll see you guys soon. Okay. Bye.